Have you ever heard the expression, fake it till you make it? Well, with directories, you kind of got to do that because no one's going to sign up for your directory if you don't have anybody already listed on your directory website. And in order to do that, we need to import some listings that we've scraped or that we've gathered through some different method and into our website so that we can have a proof of concept basically. So in this video, let's show you how to go through that with a Excel sheet that you already have set up with information that you can import right into your website. For this, we're going to need two plugins. We're going to need WP All Import. You can use the free version. I just have Pro installed. And you're going to need the Voxel add-on. Both are going to be linked in the description below. From there, we're going to need an Excel sheet with some information. Now, I just went through and I gathered 6,000 listings for my personal site. But for the video, we're just going to go with some simple, like five or six listings that we have right here. We have their full address, the category, a description. We have 4 different images. We have their full phone number and their title and a website if they have it. Now, we pulled from Google Maps, so we do also have their place ID, and this is going to be helpful if you are using a third-party plugin to pull in their Google reviews, such as the Codex Google Reviews plugin that just released, or if you're using something different. So this is going to be our sheet that we're using to pull in all of our listing information. Let's go through and I'm going to show you how to save this file appropriately so that we can import it to the website correctly. We're going to save as. I'm going to name it import example. And in our drop down, we have a lot of different options. So what I've noticed works best is if it's a CSV, but not just any CSV. I typically have just steered away from this one, and I will go down to the specialty format just to see just the comma separated values one down here. Save that into our file, our folder. Minimize that. Go over to your import, click on new import, upload a file. We're going to import our example one here. That's going to load. The bigger your file, the longer it's going to take to import, the more resources your server is going to need. So make sure your server can handle this because it will time out numerous times if you don't do it appropriately. We're going to import these into businesses. And then this is where we can see what's inside of our file, how many listings we're going to be importing, things of that nature. You can also, go through and preview all of the different content as well. Skip to step 3. This is where we go through and we're going to pull in all of our information. So you're going to drag all the elements from the right to the left. So this is going to be the title. We're going to go through, click on title, click and drag. This is the description part of Voxel. We can add that description right there. Now we're going to ignore most of these. We're just going to head straight to Voxel fields. And you basically, these are pulling all of your fields that you have on your post type. So this may not match what you have. This may match what you have. You're going to just import the ones that you have. So we're going to click on import website. We have website, import address. We're going to geolocate the address by the full address, not Latin long, just because it's easier for us. Phone number. We have a phone number. We have our company logo. For me, I'm specifically doing the first image that it pulled. And now we have a gallery of images as well. So we're going to pull these in here. Click and drag. Separate multiple files with a comma. And number 3. Now, if they don't have it, then it just won't import for that image. I don't have any social media networks. I don't have any hours. The import claim is just going to stay the same. Place ID, we can import that as well. Down there. All right, so we've got all of that taken care of. Now we need our taxonomies. We're going to go to business types. Each business has just one. We're going to go to our categories and we're going to click and drag that in. Now, if you're importing and you already have business categories imported, you can try to match the terms to the existing ones that are already there. So that's something you can turn on, and it'll try to match it to the existing ones based on the title and the slug. And then from there, it'll just match it. If it doesn't match, it'll just create a new one. Oh, and if you have mapping, so if it's in your file, if it's different for your website, so for example, if it's house cleaning service in your file, but you just want house cleaning, you can just, but it's house cleaning on your website, then you can just map it that way as well. So now we have that. One other option that you can do is you can set these to a draft if this is a live website, so that way you can kind of go through and make sure everything imported correctly. And then once you're done with that, you can go to your draft section of that post and you can import that. Oh, sorry, you can change the status from draft to published. Super easy by selecting all, bulkhead, and do it that way. For me, I don't have any businesses in there, so I'm just going to hit published. We're going to set the dates as now, and then we're going to leave the comments open. We're going to just leave all of this default. If you're trying to set the post author to somebody who already exists, you're going to be putting in either their user ID, username, or email address associated with that account that's already on your website. And that should be another column that's in your field if you're going to be importing your post authors. You would then first export all of your users on your site, assign them to the Excel sheet appropriately, and then import it that way. But we're good. So we don't have to worry about any of that. Don't have to worry about any of this. Continue to step 4. Unique identifier. So you can either use your title of the business, or if you have something unique, like the place ID is going to be unique as well. So we can do that. It's especially good if your businesses have multiple locations. So for example, McDonald's. McDonald's has numerous locations inside of your county or inside of your province or city. So if you import 15 of them, it's only going to import one if you're going by the title, because they're all going to be the same. But if you're importing, if you assign them each an ID in Excel, if you went through, added a new column, and just labeled it 1 through whatever, then you can import it based on that unique identifier here, so that each McDonald's gets separate. It gets imported as a separate business. For me, I've got 5. I'm just going to do title, but even if I wanted to, each place ID is going to be different for each McDonald's. I could also do it by place ID as well. Address is also something different if you wanted to do that as well. Down here, we're going to create new businesses from all the records inside of our file. I'm not going to update any of them, but you have the option to just update them if you're wanting to update the information here into the website. And you can choose to update all the data or just specific data here. For now, we're just going to create new ones, and we're going to hit continue. Now, as I said, this is going to be a very quick run for the video, and this is not going to take a lot of server resources, but if you're importing a lot, then you need to go through and you need to make sure that your server can handle it. Make sure that it's a beefed enough server. More CPUs, the better. And then from there, you can also set the max amount of time for the imports down here. There's somewhere down here you can do 20 records at a time. You can lower that down to like 5 or so if you have a lot, and just kind of just let this sit overnight, because you can't move from this screen once you start the import. Let's confirm and run the import. It's going to give us a nice progress bar. It's going to give us a little log of what's happening, how many we've done, and how many have been skipped, how many have just not worked. So it's going to take you a few seconds to see what's going on. For me, 5 records, imports super fast. It tells you a little bit what's going on, importing the taxonomy, your images, associate the post. It's doing all that in the back end. So this one's done. Let's see how well it handled all of those options. So we have, let's just get rid of these. And so we have our 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one was already existing. Let's go through here, because I think this one had a lot of fields already. So we have our title, the description, we have our website, address, phone number, the first image, and then all 3 of the other images are in our library. We have the type of business. We didn't import any of this stuff. And we have our Google Place ID there as well, pulled in. So let's go through, and we're going to view the post on the front end. We have all of this information here. We have the title, the category, location, all of that good stuff. I don't have the gallery shown on the front end yet. I did delete that. I just have to add it in. But we have the. It looks like it looks bad because you just the resolution of the photo. But there's that, and then we have local businesses we can go through. Um, and then once we are able to go through, we're going to edit our business type and we're going to re-index everything. We create table. This should show us the rest of our businesses. Here we go. So we have all of this. Now everything looks diverse and it looks really nice. So these are the ones that don't have the gallery image. So we will be fixing that so that it pulls a backup image from there. I don't have it set right now for a backup image just because I need to design it. But there we go. We have all of this here. You can see the different photos here. Everything shows up nicely. And then we have our images. Location, everything's there. So that's basically the shorthand version of how to import listings into your website. Super easy. The main thing you need to remember is to make sure that you have enough server resources because it will time out on you. Now, my original file is pretty large of how many listings I have. It's 1,476 listings. It comes with complete with the address, the category, the description of it, all the image URLs, which are very long, the phone, place ID, title, website. It's got all that good information. So I'm going to be importing these probably about 6,000 or so listings into the website I just showed you. So that way we can have a lot to show when we launch this website. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm going to have the plugins that I use linked below. Everything is free to do when importing into post types, especially with Voxel's add-on. So be sure to download both of those, and I'll see you guys on the next one.